Did some unboxings of the Shadows of Brimstone Adventures stuff. This is going to be some very quick ones on how to put together some of the larger models, the multi-part models in there, because sometimes it's not necessarily the clearest from the instructions they give them, although they are getting better. And I must say the numbering of the sprues and the fit of the models is better than it was in the original runs, so they are getting better on that front. So this one is going to be the Croxin, which is basically a dinosaur from the Valley of the Serpent Kings. It's the large enemy model in that box. So there's 16 pieces, just laid them all out there in the order that they are numbered on the sprue, and I'm going to put them together with plastic cement or plastic glue. I don't suggest using super glue for this. It will take ages and gets all over your hands and stuff, and it's just not very nice. So yeah, using plastic glue for this. So yeah, you just go straight to it, I guess. So parts numbers 1 and 2 you do first are basically the body of the Croxin. These two ones are two biggest pieces, just hold them up like that, and they're going to go together. Effectively there's got 3, if you can see there's 3 spokes on the inside that go to 3 holes on this side, like that. That's how they're going to go together. So what we're going to do is just run some of the glue around the seam on the outside. Like that. Okay. And then just put some on those spokes so as they go in, they will bond to the holes, so they're like that. Okay, right, should be safe to put those two together. Yeah, like that. Clips together, nice and snug, and we now have the body of our wannabe dinosaur. I just hold it for a few seconds. That's the advantage of using this kind of plastic glue, is that it almost instantly starts to melt the plastic together, and you don't really have to hold it in place for that long. But anyway, now we've done that bit, I'm going to put that bit aside for the moment, let them sort of cure. What we're going to do next is the head, and the first bit you do on the head is the 2 pieces of the bottom jaw. So these are parts sort of 3 and 4 numbered on the sprue. If you look at them, they're basically lower bits of jaw. They're going to go together like that. There you go, and there you have its lower jaw. I'm going to put the head all together separately. There is, again, if you look in, 2, so bring them up closer, 2 very small sort of spokes and holes to go in. But yeah, run around the outside seam again. Couple on the spokes. Put them together. There we go, and they just squeeze together nice and easily. And whilst they are together like that, the next bit you do is the little tongue. So just go inside the mouth, bottom of the jaw, get out the tongue, make sure you get it the right way up. So if I hold it up to the camera, that's what it looks like. It should be arcing down when it's in the tongue. So it's, he says, getting it in. There you go. Yep, like that. Okay. So as I say, if you look at it, it's arcing down. Alright, so that's that bit, that's the bottom of our jaw. Next bit we're going to do, just leave that aside for a moment, is the top jaw. This is the big head, which gives it that sort of dinosaur look with these sort of flared spikes at the back of the head. See, there we go. Yeah, so there's 2 of these. They're going to go together, much the same, little spikes, little holes, go together. On the top side, so we'll do the same. Put them together. Hold there for a moment. I'm not going to dally too long, because what I'm going to do is now I'm going to attach this top half of the head to that bottom half with the tongue that we just did. So just all over that sort of flat bit you have there. That's going to be one half of it. Slightly raised indentation. We'll lock into the bottom of this sort of, oops, wrong way around. That was a mistake. There you go. That's what happens when you plan it all out for a video. Get it done meticulously in order and then just completely botch it when you're recording. Never mind. There you go. So holding this together for a bit now because it's actually it's certainly mine, might not be in yours, but mine the fit is quite snug and not 100% flush, if I'd say that. So a little bit of pressure is required to get it into the right place. There we go. So, but that should hopefully have now locked it in place. And our head is now ready to put on our body, which again hopefully is dried off and cured a bit now. I mean, it won't be completely dry, it'll still be slightly squidgy, which we're going to need when we start doing the legs. I'll show you why when we do the legs. So now the head is going to go where the raised indentation on the body at one end is where the head's going to go. You can use that as a drop in it. There we go. See, raised indentation there. And there's a hole in the head. And they're going to go together like that. So once again, all over the flat surface, and then a little bit on that raised indentation, and then the head and the body go together like that, and these fit together again quite well. Again, it's a sign of the improving sort of modelling quality they've got, and mould making. That there's hardly any sort of gaps in the mould lines and stuff. Where they go. So there you go. That's your Croxin. Now its head on its body. Isn't that nice? We're now going to do something very similar at the other end. Next piece is these two pieces, which have a tail. So you've got an underside of a tail, which all ridge scales one way, and then top side of a scale, all spiky scales. Yeah. So we're just going to put them together, and again there's a couple of holes, there's a couple of spokes. So okay, it's around the edge. So one of the things to try and do is not get this outside the invisible seam of the join, because this glue does actually somewhat melt the plastic and can discolour it when you then come to primer it. But fortunately there's no harm in just, as I'm doing now, just getting away with any excess on my fingers, and it just goes away. It's not harmful or toxic in any way, because you are not made of plastic, although I wouldn't suggest drinking it. So there we go, that's held that in place for a bit. It's gone tacky, they are sticking to each other in place with the back end of my tail. So I'm going to put that on the body, and if you get this right, it should lock in there where the hole is at the back neatly. There you go. And if you look at it, it's now forming an S shape between the head and the tail. That's what it should look like. So let's glue that in. Have to get it out a bit. And hole in the back, like that. A little bit on the plug that goes in. And then, oops, got it the wrong way around there. There we go, in it goes. And just hold it for a few seconds. Let the glue do its work of bonding and melting. But yeah, so if you look, very hard to notice now there was even a seam there on that side. A little bit more noticeable on this side, but yeah, the bottom side barely noticeable against the patterning of the scales there. So there you go, that's basically head, tail, body all done. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put the legs on. And the astute amongst you will notice, if you look there, there's 7 pieces, which is 4 legs. So what's gone wrong there? Well, the first time I looked at this, I'd completely missed that the last one we did has actually got a foot on it already. So we don't need to put a foot on that one. It's good for this. And I'm going to do it in a specific order, which isn't quite the order that it is in the sprue. And the reason why I'm doing that is because that head is coming free again a bit there. Yeah, the reason why I'm doing that is what I find some of them are harder to get in when in this one's assembled than others, and you do those first, whilst you've still got a little bit of flexibility in this, because the plastic hasn't fully melted and bonded together 100% yet. Okay, so first one I'm going to do is the biggest one. It looks quite chunky. Looks like this. It's got a squarish peg that is the largest of the square pegs, and this one goes the back left as you look at back left as you look at it from above, and it's going to go basically back there like that. Oops, dropped it, but yeah, it's going to go in like, oops, no, there you go, like that. Keep dropping it. And the reason why I do this one is because this one I found is the stiffest to get in and get into a flush position. So I'm going to do this one first, really hold it in place, and then let it stick in there and let all the other ones basically follow after. And arguably it's because of where one of these the mold's attachment points is on it. It's slightly on the leg is on the side where there's also some scales of it, so it kind of pushes itself out a bit. We'll see. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, same as before. We'll just go around the sort of flat part, a little bit on the plug, and put it in, and then, as I say, apply a bit more pressure than I have been elsewhere, and we'll just wait. And hopefully when I let go it's not going to fly off into the ether and stay as good a seam as we're going to get on this one. Yeah, that's about as good as it's going to get. Yeah, a good advert now for the green stuff, that sort of putty stuff you can put in to block any gaps. I'll be here to fill that one because I think it's going to be the worst. As you can see, I think it's going to be the worst of the gaps. Not really visible. There you go. That's better. Yeah, it's going to be the worst of the gaps on this model, but never mind. So yeah, then the other back leg as well, because that's another tough one. What you should be aiming for is I say obviously I managed to get it wrong once there, is to get it so the attachment points for the feet, which have got their own little sort of stubs on them, are pointing straight down from the model's aspect. So if I put that in like that, you'll see what I mean, and that you want these feet to be on the bottom, otherwise your Croxin's going to be standing at some weird angle or whatever, so they want to be facing the bottom, so when you put it down flat. So yeah, that's gone in much better. There's no sort of resistance then, it's a much snugger fit. Keep pushing that one back in a bit when I can. It's not going to stay because it's going to get forced out, but anyway, there we go. Right, it's like that, head's like that, head's all good, tail's all good. Right, so front ones, I do the front one that isn't raised next. It's the tiniest one, the smallest. It's got a almost circular plug that's going in, and a square one for the feet again. Anyway, it's going in there as you look at it. So the Croxin goes front left. So it's going to go there. Take that again. It's going to go in there. Same again. Around there. Bit on there. And in you go. Okay, much better fit, don't have to push it, just goes in up against it nice and smooth. I just keep pushing everything where I think it's a bit suspect, just keep it in place as I go. And then we're going to do this one, which is the front right, which is its paw that I've already started gluing now. Yeah, its paw that is raised, and obviously you can't get that one pointing the ground. You want it pointing up like that. You want it so it's. If I have a look at the front of it, there you go. Can you see the positioning on that one? It's basically trying to slap you down with its paw, like that. Okay, so that's all the sort of leg parts. The upper leg part's done. We just now need to do the feet, and very handily, they have learnt from previous exercises. All the feet have different size. I'll show you different size holes in the feet to make it a little easier to work out which ones go where. And I've got this one in my hand, which is the smallest. So this one is the back right. It's going to go there, like that, and it should hopefully only orientate one way, which looks remotely natural, he says, getting it in. There you go. So it should look like that. If you can see, that's the direction of the feet. So we'll glue that one. go. Push it together. And again, it's a good fit, so you don't really need to hold it that much. The seam's barely noticeable, even when it's just lying flat under its own. Oh, there we go. He says as it keeps moving about as I let go of my fingers. There we go. There we go. So back foot done. Give everything else just a bit of a push. Okay, so next one we're going to do is, I guess, the next biggest one, which will make sure I get this the right one, is the other back foot, and it's on a bit of a diagonal rather than squarish, if that makes sense. So we will just apply some glue there, and then again make sure it's got its toes pretty much pointing forward on the axis of the body, not necessarily where the head is pointing, but forward on the axis of the body. Again, go. So it's somewhat sticking to my fingers as I let go, so it's just shifting it. Yeah, I'm not so happy with that, and the next one doesn't look quite so good either. But they are what they are. Okay. So I suppose I can just show you. If you try and put it in the other way, in the other one, it won't go. See, it's just not going. It doesn't look right. So even if you are like me, having second thoughts, it's like, no, this is the only way it's going to go. So we'll put it in there. Then we'll glue the next one. That. There we go. There you go. There is your Croxin all glued together. Still going to be tacky for a bit, so if you want to adjust or play with it until you get a better fit to your aesthetic choice, you can. But yeah. That's Croxin done.